Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Link Click. Now, normally what we would do is we would have a little preview segment at the start of the episode to give you a little sample of what would happen, later on in the episode. But I've chosen to use this part here at the beginning to inform you that we are not recording this in the normal way that we typically would. Which is to say, typically I record these live on Fridays along with all my other solo stuff. But Rogue Knight, sponsor of this show, in fact, pinged me early on and told me that I may not want to record this episode live with the others, as it contains content that may not be appropriate for such a thing. And they said that they were just trying to warn me of that fact. So I am recording this a couple of days before I do my solo thing, and this is my warning to you. I don't know what's coming either, but if there is something that is warningable, sorry, my brain ain't working here, uh, for me and the person sponsoring the show, then I feel it's at least the least I can do to warn you, the viewer, ahead of time, just in case. Don't know where everyone's levels are at on these kind of things, but you've been warned, I guess. It's the best I can do. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our normal stuff. I have my notes. We, of course, have a board, and the first thing we usually do is the board, so let's go to the board. And with the board comes the board changelog. I removed the Hoodie Kid image from Red Eyes, as I no longer believe that there is sufficient evidence to claim that they are Red Eyes, and not just someone being controlled by them. I gave Hoodie Kid their own spot on the board and connected them to... Here's the thing. I've been saying Quan the whole time, but I'm pretty sure when I was listening to the English dub, they say, Sean, or Chan? Sorry, it seems to me like they're pronouncing the Q as a C. And unfortunately, as I said before, I'm not doing this in a live recording this time, so I don't have the chat to instantly correct me. I'm sure I'll be getting a correction later. For the sake of continuity, I'm just going to keep calling him Quan right now, and I can be corrected later and fix that later. Anyway, I connected them to Quan, Hawaiian shirt guy, whose name we do get later is Ma. So, Ma and Lou. I added Mrs. Jin and marked her as dead. I added Mrs. Jin's killer and marked him as dead. I added Zhaoji's name. Sorry, it's the first time I'm saying that out loud. I added Dr. Quinn. I added Zhao Wang. And I added Lu Lan's name and then marked her as dead. If I failed to go over any connections on some of those people that I named, it should be obvious on the board, but I guess apologies for that inconsistency in my board changelog state. Sometimes when the board changelog gets a lot larger, I just start failing to write down all the changes I do. But as always, if it's ever in a question, there should be a link down below in the description with a link to the board image so you can see it in a whatever larger aspect ratio you want to see it in, as opposed to the smaller one down here. That said, to the notes. You know, whoever the woman with Lu Min's dad was, his wife, mistress, whatever, she does have a point about the funeral home scheduling. You'd have to think that that was some sort of special case where they would not be put side by side, or even at the same time, by which I mean Lu Min and Shen's funerals. The fact I'm even making a note about it isn't so much to vindicate her as to note how unusual it was as to maybe have been on purpose. In this show, I feel like you can never really be sure what enemy action looks like. Lu Min's dad indicates that he believes someone is out for him due to Mr. Zhu and his son both being targeted. While his son isn't actually being targeted, in respect to relating to his business, It does line up with that one question I keep asking about episode 1. Who hired our characters to investigate the company in episode 1? I still feel like whoever is behind that is going to be a person of importance in the overall story. And it's also information our characters should have, but is being withheld from us, the viewer. If Hoodie Kid isn't Red Eyes, one has to wonder if they might not be a third person of power, or if they are no one of power at all. It feels like one of the reasons Quan was introduced was to show us that not everyone with yellow eyes is being inhabited by Chang. And as I note, Quan had yellow eyes even in the flashbacks. Likewise, the follow-up to that would be that not everyone with red eyes is being inhabited by red eyes. The only thing making me second guess that would be, how did Hoodie Kid know to intercept Hawaiian Shirt Guy, and Ma, as we find out later, at exactly that point on the stairs at exactly that timing? I mean, it could be coincidence, but Hoodie Kid is just standing there waiting, so it makes it seem less likely. Despite the fact that I have Hoodie Kid and the girl you see at the end of the episode, as different boxes on the board, I recognize Hoodie Kid's lack of speech as a probable indicator towards them being the same person. At the same time, the picture mentioned a brother on the back, which lays the groundwork for confusion. So, absent of 100% certainty, I'm keeping both images up. This is a thought that I had now, after the fact. The fact that Chang inhabits the girl during a certain point in time of her in her past, she might consider him the brother. Can't get alive without my brother Chang. I don't know. Seem odd that they wouldn't contact them till now, considering that if they thought that in the past, they would have thought that all the way into the future. But I don't know. Just a thought I'm having in the moment. I wonder if the opening of the season is a hint towards rewinding time being a major factor. Obviously, we know that Lou would never allow such a thing, but it makes me think of a book series I've mentioned a few times in various shows across the channel. Incarnations of Immortality. Long story short, various aspects of the world, death, nature, fate, etc., are all offices occupied by a person. One of them is time, and its owner experiences the world in reverse from the moment that they take the office. And he can force himself to experience the world in normal forwards fashion when needed. It just takes effort. Just making me wonder, to my previous thought, that maybe Hoodie Kid, if he does have power, might know things from having come from the future to the past, or something like that. Would match the opening at least, or it could just be a crazy meandering thought from me. I have to think now, in hindsight, I'm less on board with my own thought on that one. But yeah, I guess I'm just trying to parse the opening, if the opening has a greater meaning. Because I remember I was watching it, and I was thinking, I wonder if this means if I played certain scenes backwards, they would play in a certain way to give them a different meaning. Quan Jin used to live at 59 Wingjia Road, Jiaxing District. Sorry, I'm never going to read these names right. Unit 4, Room 501. Sorry, there's more thought there, but literally one of our meaner commenters was pointing out the fact that how the hell can't we get foreign names right all the time? And it's just like, I don't know, man. Things are hard to read, right? If you constantly are reading words you've never read before, and you don't understand the pronunciation of the language, it's just fucking hard. Or just call us dumb. I don't give a shit. Don't, by the way, be constructive with your criticism. I've already had to mute a number of people without warning because they jump in meaning just insult. I don't care if you're telling us how to be better or informing us on things that we missed. Just don't be insulting out of nowhere. There's no reason for that. Anyway, I wrote down the information about his address because you never know when that might be important later. As to a note about the scene that comes up in, I'm not sure if his wife's ghostly death image was just Juan imagining the worst or actually showing us what actually happened. Someone entering the home and her thinking that it was him and then attacking her. The motion of the ghost to what seems to have really happened flowed so well together that it could have been one and the same. Or, and I hate to use this moment to put out a crazy theory, but Quan does have a power, maybe? But it's like Batman detective mode, that he can see into the past of a scene to tell what really happened. Maybe that's how he solved so many cases and what made him a good lawyer. The idea that he walks into the room and he sees the dead body and he can see the final moments of their life. Kind of like if Red Eyes is kind of like Chang's power, that Quan is kind of like Lu's power, that sort of thing. I got all these notes are like just for me, but I can't remember which ones are which, so I'm just reading them all out. 6 months after Quan's wife's killer was set free, he hung himself and confessed to the crime in a suicide note, which was also several years ago. You know, I like to keep track of the timings of things, and sometimes these vague timings are all I have, but I kind of feel like I missed out on a couple when I wasn't paying too much attention to Chen's timeline. So in that effort, I'm just trying to make sure I keep all the notes. I really hate how we flashed back to Emma as proof of Lu being right that we can't change anything. Emma's suffering, as far as I can tell, is all our fault. Like, we got glimpses that she wasn't happy with her life and where it was going in her own flashbacks, and obviously by the way things were going when we were with her during the first episode. But the breaking point certainly occurred when Chang was occupying her, setting into the course of events her meeting Red Eyes, which leads to her ultimate suffering and death. That doesn't prove Lu right about not trying to help people. Red Eyes isn't a part of time running its natural course. Emma's suffering might be the argument for not trying to change people's lives from a nothing is wrong here stance, but it isn't an argument against saving lives either. The random text led her into a sequence of events that brought her to Lu Min, sure. But that was one random line said to one random person. Chang is saying random shit to random people all the time when in their bodies. Every sentence could lead to another Emma, and that doesn't stop them from going back. I mean, I brought this up before, the fact that he has a conversation with Lu while in the back of the taxi. That's not a conversation that woman would have had to herself at the time, thus possibly changing the taxi driver's entire life after that. That never comes up. And Chang is doing that all the time. Every time Lu says, stop, being yourself, start being that person that you're in, is something that Chang is doing that's different. Look, all I'm saying is I understand what the show is trying to say, but I'm saying I still disagree with it. Not a massive thing, but obviously I was right about Zhao being in the picture with Shan Shan. We saw the picture being taken in that episode where they were in front of the photo studio. Wasn't that big a mystery. I think the mystery there is still why Red Eyes mentioned photos being something that they use, but also being a power that they want to take. And again, I think I'm narrowing in on that, on the element of Red Eyes having a variant power to what we know Chang has, in the same way that I just equated earlier, that Juan probably has a variant power to what Lu has. Just throwing this out there as another crazy thought. Obviously, we should think Dr. Quinn would feel a masculine pulse, whatever that is, because Shang is in the body, right? But the picture indicated a brother, and we are just assuming that this is a girl due to outward-facing identifiers. I've seen enough fucked up media to have this stuff in my head. Sleepaway Camp comes to mind. Look it up if you want to. Like what if Zhaoji is a boy being treated as a girl? What if there is a girl, but this is the boy? What if this is just legit sleepaway camp? It would be a double bluff, is all I'm saying. And if not that, then the thing I said earlier about Shang being the brother, but whatever. Let's see. I took a note about the address, or no, the landmarks that they were seeing on the road that Shang was reading out loud. Lulan's address, because again, same reason why I took down Juan's address. My final note. Well, Zhao Li asked the pressing question: why would Red Eyes text the picture of Shan Shan with Zhao to a dead person's phone? We got the number of the phone Hoodie Kid was carrying, 184-897-5497. So if that turns out to be Lulan's number, then that would explain that connection and answer that question. I guess I'm just me putting out there what I'm anticipating to happen. That said, though, that's all of my notes. That was the board. Nothing left to do but to hop on into the episode and see what we were getting warned about.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I'm hoping this is just actually going to turn out to be her husband and not some kidnapping thing or whatever. That the husband just looks rough and that's going to be like the red herring. Because she didn't seem shocked to see him. She was just like, huh? See, again, that doesn't look like a shock or what the fuck are you doing look. Again, all of my theories. Why is Hoodie Kid doing this now versus any time previous? Okay. Not the dad then. Well, I mean, it could still be, but I don't suspect. I don't know. Maybe I'm like ruined by media where if that was the dad, it'd be like, hey, kiddo, or, some first contact thing would be a sign of recognition. Very clearly, this is either a guy who lives in the area or, I don't know. I almost say a technician who works on the machine, but that would be the cover, wouldn't it? If it is some creepo, then the technician that works on the machine filling it with toys that only children of a specific age would want. Again, the idea here is that everything that happens in the show isn't like over 15 years ago, right? Well, actually, sorry. The things involving people that are alive in the timeline that our main characters are existent in normally isn't from over 15 years ago. Hoodie Kid seems like a teenager, right? I guess I'm arguing against myself here because she could be 18, in which case that's literally over 15 years ago. My point being is that children's toys of a certain age have moved beyond dolls and whatnot. That little kid I could see being interested in handheld electronics and whatnot. That's all I'm saying. I keep forgetting that we have this weird 3D CGI animation thing to get through before we actually get to the episode. Last Supper. we talking biblical or we talking real?
看好啊，这招叫做甩爪。
啊，这样会不会把机器摇坏啊？
不用担心，就是现在。
Oh, I see. It's jerking all around, so it pivots to pick something up on the side, but it's actually just above the lip.
这其中到底是有什么奥妙呀？为什么你就能一抓一个准？
其实呢，原理很简单，就是把爪子定在洞口上方或者边缘，然后把爪子左右或者上下甩动起来，在摇摆到最高点时放爪，爪子就会向斜角伸去。
Yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, he's saying he was over the hole, but we saw it drop it on the lip.
娃娃刚好掉到洞口。理论说起来很简单，但出爪的时间还是需要千锤百炼的。
Surely he wasted a lot of money on the machine.
之后，记得要适当表现出愉悦的神情。
Remember that Chang is a Kai who lost his childhood to losing his parents, so he's probably really happy. He doesn't have to act.
南德区同里巷48号，这次看清小区门牌了，家住607。
谢谢你啊，还麻烦你帮忙拎东西。
没事儿，这些是中药材吗？
I mean, that's the address
回家自己
that
煎
we
一
got.
煎。
这么巧，没想到遇上的是隔壁邻居。
哦，怪不得我说怎么会经常闻到一股中药味儿。
啊，哎呀，
What is he saying
不好意思
there?
啊
Who
味
is he
道
talking
传到
about if
隔壁
not
了
them?
没事儿没事儿。妹妹，你好可爱。
Oh, their
几
neighbor.
岁了？叫什么呀？
不许你碰我妹妹！
Oh, there we go. There actually is a
是
brother.
原里所说的好哥哥。
程小石所在的门牌也是南德区同里巷48号607。
看来就是刘兰家。小王，你先把报案人拖住，千万别让他走了。
But still, he's talking about their neighbor, which means he's talking about somebody else who these people are neighbors of. Also, you know, really implying that he's not Hoodie Kid, unless he's taking like a vow of silence for some reason.
哥哥他为了保护妹妹，有点瞎着急了。
没事儿，男孩子嘛，保护妹妹应该的。
今天真是谢谢你，又是帮
Okay,
我
I
药
just very
帮我
clearly
摘
must have
网啊
misheard the conversation earlier.
谢什么谢？
It's fine. I'll go back in my notes when I rewatch and I'll have everything written down, explaining my misunderstanding.
假惺惺！我最讨厌这种看上去是好人，但其实是个混蛋的人了。
小小年纪，跟隔壁邻居是有多大血海深仇啊？
以后不许这样的人碰你，知道了吗？女孩子一定要学会保护好自己。你别笑，我说的是认真的。这个世界本来就
I
是
mean,
没
yeah,
有常
Chang,
识
all you have to
你越是
communicate with
别
now
人
is
就是越欺负
your
你。
looks.
所以，我们一定要变得足够强大，要学会说不，这样才能反抗和打败那些我们讨厌的人。
这个年纪真是中二又热血。
Here's the problem. Is we're very clearly being sent back
你问
to
他，这些话是从哪儿听来的？
protect this kid.
啊？我怎么问啊？
But whatever happens to him happens, because Lou's not going to let him change that.
伸出食指，指尖向上，摇一摇，然后再用食指横在嘴巴前，转动几下。
啊？哦，是我认识一个新朋友告诉我的，他可帅气了。
Uh-oh. To be clear, I only said uh-oh because friend so far has only been used to express red eyes.
这点勇气都没，还怎么做我的朋友？
Why is this show filled with hiding faces?
虽然鞋子路
Lu Min's face was hidden from us in episode 1. Hell, the mother's face was hidden to us all episode until the very end.
不顾一切的样子有什么帅的？这一看不就是个调皮蛋吗？
原来你还有自知之明啊！
陆光你，
哎，我刚看你打手语又打得乱七八糟的，是不是把我叫你的都忘了？来，我想回家，怎么做？
先点一点自己，再点点头。
不对，不对，是指自己胸口位置，知道了吗？
I mean, I guess this goes away to answer that question about do they know everything that the body knows,
不对，
which I guess has been proven wrong in the past. I mean, my guess that it was the case.
胸口吗？
对，是先点胸口再点头。
那没错呀。
你先别着急，重新来一遍，先点胸口指自己。
对，对，然后再点头。不对，指自己的头。
到底对还是
Oh, wait.
对。
I was right. It's gonna be the boy. He's just not talking. In the future, I mean. She's got gold eyes. He's got red eyes. Hoodie guy in the future, hoodie person in the future has red eyes.
然后把两个手的手指相对，支起来，像个屋顶一样，就是家。
Which means something is gonna happen to her. Which means something's gonna happen to Chang.
陆光。 你还在吗，陆光？
来，你自己再复习一遍试试。
刚才说的点头不是真的点头，是用手指指着自己太阳穴的位置。
陆光，你刚才去哪儿了？
我一直在啊。
奇怪，怎么会有信号不好掉线的情况？
喂，你在想什么呢？
Okay, here comes actual dad. Is it going to be someone we know?
终于赶在年底把那批货忙完了。
天辰，小西，出来吃
No.
饭了。
Don't know this guy.
小西今天又学新手语了吗？哎，这娃娃没见过吧？是哪儿来的呀？
哦。 今天带小西又去看了中医，回来路上去杂货铺抓了娃娃。
哦，是小西自己抓的，这抓娃娃感觉还挺难的呢。
啊，最后是我帮他抓的。今天运气好。
I guess it's not a thing to trust your neighbors. I mean, granted, we've had a children kidnapping story already, so.
娃娃先放起来，饭菜再放会儿就要凉了。小西，快去做。 天辰啊，快点出来吃饭了！
哇哦，又到了让人愉快的吃饭时间。
注意一下你现在的性别和年纪。
I mean, I suppose they said that the writing on the back of the picture was child's.
这活没法干了呀。
So assumably at some point in this, they're gonna have to write that thing on the back.
果然是个好哥哥。
别光给你妹妹夹，你也多吃点。
我自己夹。
怎么对你爸这么没礼貌啊？ 连句客气话都不会说吗？
看起来已经提前进入青春期了吧？
怎么可能啊？都才几岁的孩子。
你可别小看现在的孩子。
Okay, this guy's a computer guy.
最后那2个人头留给我。什么玩意儿？就这水平还来挑衅我们工会？也太小看我这个会长的枪法了吧！好了好了好了。
Okay, Mecha.
杀！一个都不留，全部干死！
They kind of look the Magic Knight Rayer at the cliff
跟家里人一起吃个
in
饭
the picture above his
真好。
screens.
年前是不是可以轻松点了？
可不一定，厂子里马上要搞人事晋升了，再放松也得表现得好一些。
你连续几年都评上先进，今年不升你当副主任，我觉得厂子里工人都要有意见了。
副主任也就是个名头，没多大意思。
天辰啊，你在学校乖点哦，特别是交朋友，一定要交成绩好、人品好的，听到没？
话说，照片背后的不能没了好哥哥，到底是什么意思啊？他哥不还好好的吗？
Again, Lou is an ass. Lou just doesn't tell him bad things.
新相机啊！
啊，没有啊。
Whole earthquake episode, Lou was not telling him shit ahead of time.
那柜子上摆的相机是谁的呀？我不记得家里有这个型号。
你在说什么呀？哪个柜子上摆的相机啊？
你还想骗我？我都看到了你刚才故意藏起来的小动作。
小西，快去做。
Oh shit, is he gonna be the problem? Oh, is it gonna be some fucking subversion? Is the neighbor gonna come try and save them?
往前一挡，我就发现不了。我吃饭的时候一直在忍着不要去想这件事，但我实在忍不了。
这是什么情况？
你说，这是谁给你的？
这是我自己买给小西的。
放屁！你还在骗我！你跟外面男人的事情，整个小区都知道了，你还要不要脸了你？
哎，下班了啊！
哎，终于忙完了。哎，对了，今天有客人来，硬要送我一包烟，但我又不抽烟，要不你拿去抽？
哎呦呦，这怎么好意思？
哎，没事，拿着。
那谢谢了啊。哎，有件事儿，我不知道应不应该。
Ah, fucking outsiders always butting in.
今天又来过了，我看他好像还带了礼物。
Teacher.
这个破相机是不是他送的？是不是？你背着我跟他偷偷摸摸见了多少次了？我是不是警告过你不要去勾勾搭搭？你怎么就是不听？你是不是贱着你？
我没有啊，周老师是关心小西，希望他能
Mr. Zhao.
所以才过来看望我。
He's not a fucking teacher.
天底下这么多孩子他不管，他就盯着我们家小西不放。我看他就是盯着你不放，还说什么去特殊教育学校，家里哪来的钱供他？女孩子在家有什么不好？相夫教子，
The fucking misogyny that's in this goddamn show.
长了一张花言巧语、勾三搭四的嘴。哎，刘兰呀，刘兰，我真没想到你为了那个姓周的野男人骗了我一次又一次。对了，还有这个，啊，这个也是他送的。
We know that guy's a piece of shit too.
我说抓娃娃抓的，啊，住手！让你骗！天辰，把妹妹带进去，把门关起来。
Oh man, it's time to use some of those martial arts fucking skills.
进去。
程小师，
Look, Chang has this whole fucking thing about parents.
哭什么哭？你为什么要逼我呀？啊，都是你逼我的。
Ah, this hitting a little too close to home.
为了这个家，你太让我失望了，你太让我失望了。真是说错，黄脸别条，干死他吧！让他们知道谁才是本府的真爹。真解气啊！
They need this guy to take his headset off and go fucking do something.
个个键盘侠，真动起手来都是瓜皮。让你们再嚣张，来啊，来啊！
What's the point of fucking showing him if he's not gonna? Oh shit, is this gonna be what happens to brother?
他就这样踩到水池里，把足球捡起来了。 虽然裤子都湿透了，但他那不顾一切的样子真的太帅了。
Surprised. I guess Lou is just letting this shit happen because it happened. Meaning she did this the same time around the first. Oh, god damn it, guy.
满意是不是？你去哪儿啊？回来！
To get help, I hope.
干死他们呀！啊！我嚣张吧，来啊！
Now remember, he's hitting the door with full man strength. Because we know that's how it happens.
你们等等啊，好像有人敲门。
What the fuck is with this evil goddamn look?
谁啊？
Come on, we need you to be the fucking hero.
两个白眼狼，送点吃的玩的给你们就认别人做爹了，嫌我丢脸丢的还不够是不是？还敢瞪我？好，你给我等着！
Go for the nuts. Chang, you have full man strength. Oh, goddamn hammer?
今天谁都别活了，要死一起死！
What is this, the goddamn Shining?
好啊，你这话的意思就是你都承认了是吧？那来吧！
怎么样？
查清楚了，刘兰7年前死于一起刑事案件。
故意杀人？
嗯，同时死的还有她的丈夫李凡。
啊？什么？她丈夫也死了？
I was thought they were gonna say that he killed her and then the other guy breaks in and kills him.
隔壁606的，刚刚是不是有人敲我们家门啊？
不知道，你可能听错了吧？
哎，他们
家里有老鼠，我们正在地上找呢，找到了就敲死它。你不想被误伤的话，别。
Come on, man, be a fucking hero. Although I don't know how she dies and he dies.
那你们小点声啊，不然我要报警的。
That's not what I was hoping for.
这种人，
一个个都是怎么了？
I mean, call the police anyway and then do something.
是不是你这个贱人，连旁边这种货色都不放过，都要勾引？
离婚好不好？离婚吧。
离婚？那不就让你得逞了吗？啊？那我李凡就要被人笑话一辈子？你别做梦了，我死也不会让你的！啊！
Yeah, Chang, strength of an adult. I'm hoping he changed the timeline, and that's why this is happening. Okay, well, it's clearly after the event.
请问怎么称呼你？
我叫李天熙。
I would be more surprised if that's not what I already called in my notes, right? That this was actually going to be the guy, but it's made to look like the girl. To explain, if you don't know what sleepaway camp is, that there's a boating accident and one of the kids survives, and they get sent to an eccentric aunt, and then it looks like the daughter survived the entire thing. And then by the end of the movie, you find out that it's the son who survived, the daughter died, and the son's gone fucking crazy, being forced to grow up as a girl, and that they're the ones committing the murder. I understand that I'm spoiling a whole fucking movie, but it's a cult classic. I don't know what to do here. I'm thrown. I grew up in a household kind of like that one. Not to that extreme, obviously. When the divorce option came up, divorce was given. So that's where that stopped. So that hits a bit close to home. But sorry. The thought in my head was I was going back over my plans for this recording, and my plans was to go back into a short, but I really feel like it would be very inappropriate to watch one of those happy, fun shorts after this episode. I guess let's try to escape the realism of the event, and let's move towards what we are in the question and answer part of the show, which is to say, what did we see? It looked like the dad was going to kill the family. We know gamer guy next door was not going to be the hero. It looked like Chang was about to do something, and very specifically, this person knew to reach out to Chang and Liu apropos of nothing, but then again, experience in the realm of everything happening that they're both in may have been where that comes from. Did Chang change the timeline? One, who would know if he did, because that would have changed the timeline, right? Like, clearly, though, Liu was shouting for him not to, which would be the scene of everyone turning, but then we get the bright flash of white, which so far has only happened when what's-his-name's dad does a Street Fighter move. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of at a loss with this episode. It was obviously building up with this is too happy to there we go. I just didn't expect it was going to be the dad. I thought it was going to be the neighbor. But I guess what is more true to life than the danger is already in your house, you know? I guess there's always the segment in my head, which is Chang searching for that happy life that he was denied, and then sometimes every time he experiences it, really, in these flashbacks, it's blows up in his face because one, nature takes everything away, or two, the happy family that he imagined he would have just doesn't exist. Well, I mean, sorry, I just don't know where to go from here. This was a uncomfortable mess. And I guess, well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to watch this episode again for my notes, but I guess I'm just going to leave it here until I go into the notes. At the very least, when it comes to discussion of the episode, nothing really changes. Everything I said has come to pass, and everything that I guessed at is still waiting to be seen. You know, who has what powers. The boy had red eyes. I really said that's the identifier of the hoodie kid. Yeah, so I guess we'll just wait and see. I'll come back with notes next time, and we'll discuss this more then. And I guess next time I'll do what I've done like the last couple of times I've forgotten to do the shorts. I'll come back next episode with a double dose of the shorts. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully next episode will be a little bit of a dial down, and we'll be able to get into that then. So until then, I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?